Okay. So we have one of our wildlife ambassadors slowly making her way out. We'll see how it goes. She is
Yeah. Oh, I knew who was coming out the whole time.
So she's kind of just waking up. But as many of you have already said, this is indeed a sloth. And her name is Xena. She is a Linnaeus' two-toed sloth. And so she's going to be kind of figuring her way out a little bit, but she's done this quite a few times already. So Xena has been with us a long time. She is almost 13 years old right now. So she has been an ambassador with us for pretty much her whole life. So you'll kind of see how she moves around and some of the adaptations that help sloths be able to do what they do. So a lot of times we get people making comments, oh, Xena's upside down. She likes to hang upside down. But if you think like a sloth, she'll probably say that we're the ones who are upside down. And that's because sloths are built and designed to live life upside down like what you are seeing right now. So for her, being able to hang is really not very tiring for her at all. So for her, she has the muscles to do pull-ups, but she does not really have the muscles to do push-ups. So when she is hanging upside down like this, she's actually not really expending a lot of energy at all. So she wants to be up in the trees. These sloths are found in the tropical rainforests of Central and South America. And so she's going to want to be up in the trees so that she can hang from all those branches and make her way around. Oh, she's kind of shooting at not really shooting, but a little piece of sweet potato fell there. But she's going to want to be up in those forest canopies and branches so that she can navigate and make it a lot easier for her to travel around, get the foods that she needs, get to the different places that she needs to be able to survive and live her lifestyle. Again, because she does not have the muscles to push up, if she were ever
scratching her butt on the other side,
it would actually be quite difficult for
now scratching her armpit.
She can't really lift and push herself.
Oh yeah, scratchy.
Crawl around, so she kind of will need to drag herself forward. So very awkward. I don't know if any of you have ever seen videos of sloths on the ground. They look really awkward. Again, that's not how they're designed to be moving around. So she's going to want to stay up in the trees where she is going to be living most of her life. And right now, Peter is feeding her some different kinds of goodies. So sloths are completely herbivores. And what do herbivores eat, everyone? Plants. That's exactly right. And so Xena and her wild cousins
offered her lettuce and she's like, no thanks.
South America, they're going to be eating a whole bunch of plants. Mainly leaves. They might occasionally eat some fruit.
Whoa.
They might eat some flowers as well, but it's going to be a lot of plant material is going to be most of her diet. So Xena right now, she's getting kind of a variety of different goodies. So we've got some greens. That's some cabbage that Peter had right there. She said no to the cabbage. Just like us, she has her preferences, but we try to offer her a variety of different possible greens and veggies, just so that she can get the variety that she would similarly encounter if she were out there in her native habitat. It seems like sweet potato is one of her favorites. She's getting a little bit of egg right now. Might be a little bit weird considering we just said that sloths are going to be herbivores, but even plant eaters, they still need different kinds of nutrients. And so sometimes if a sloth encounters a bird's nest, for example, again, they're going to be high up in the trees, then they might actually eat some of those eggs just to get the protein that every single organism needs to be able to survive. So she tends to like that. She also really likes fruit. She likes roots like sweet potato. She likes corn. She likes eggplant. So a whole bunch of veggies. Those are going to be her main diet. So as Xena is also moving around right now, you might notice, does everyone notice how her hair kind of goes down and it kind of starts from her belly and parts down? So that's an adaptation that these animals have developed where their hair starts growing from their belly and it grows down. And that's because if you think about it, they're living in a rainforest and it's gonna be raining a lot in the rainforest. So if your hair was
she's coming
not
back.
facing the right way, you would end up being a really big sloppy mess. And as you're looking at her fur right now, how many people think Xena is super soft? Some people do. How many people think her hair is maybe a little bit rough? So about 50-50. So her hair, the way we describe it, it's not super soft as much as we would love it to be, but I like to say it's kind of like unconditioned hair. Not super soft, but kind of rough, but not super rough either.
Where does she think she's
Again,
going?
that has to do with her lifestyle being mainly in the rainforest,
She likes
where
the
it's
sun.
going to be raining a lot. If she were super soft, like cotton candy or something, and she got wet, she would be really miserable. But luckily, because her hair and her fur is a little bit coarse, that helps the water to run off of her body so that her fur is not absorbing and soaking all of that water in. Helps her stay a little bit more dry so that she can be a little bit more comfortable out there in the rainforest. So right now you can also see Xena using those claws of hers. You can see they're kind of almost like hooks. She's got those really long nails that she's going to use to be able to hook onto branches, help her navigate. If she also finds some tasty foods as well, she can use those really long claws and those long arms to reach for a branch that might have something tasty and bring it closer to her mouth so that she is able to get the food that she likes and gets the food that she needs. So you can see she's kind of trying to figure it out right now. A lot of times we like to give our wildlife a little bit different setups just to challenge them a little bit and just to be able to keep them nice and mentally stimulated. So we also have a bunch of other animals that come on this structure as well. And she has a really good sense of smell, so she probably smells all the other creatures that have been on this structure before. And as we mentioned, if you're here at the beginning of the presentation, Xena has been with us for a long time. She is actually a 3-time mom. So, and all of her babies are at other departments now in different parts of the zoo. We have one at Wegeforth Bowl, one at Animals in Action, and then her most recent child, who just passed a year old, he is here at Basecamp. He is behind the scenes. But she is a very special individual. She's been a great mom to all 3 of those amazing sloth children that she has had. And that's because she is part of what we call our species survival program. So if any of you have ever heard of that, it is basically a program that is run by a bunch of zoos all across North America where they're sharing information, they're sharing data, and they're basically tracking the genetics of individuals within a species. So for example, our 2-toed sloth. So for her, she was paired with a male, a very handsome male. His name is Brad Pitt, and he fits that description quite well. He's got long, flowing golden locks. And these 2 have hit it off every single time they have been together, and they have been successful in having those 3 kids, and Xena has been a great mom. She's been able to show them how to be a sloth, do all the sloth things. But because she has been with us for pretty much all of her life, she's comfortable working with the different care specialists and trainers like Peter. She's comfortable with us coming in. And so we've gotten to build good relationships with her children from a very young age, so that now all of her children are being great ambassadors just like she is. And she's kind of really showing off some of her her strength right now, and she's also like, hey, I want some more stuff, Peter, it's time. So we're always looking at the behavior of our animals to give us direction of what they might want and what they might be trying to communicate to us. I know that sloths are quite popular for people, and I've kind of been yapping for a while now. So I want to see, does anyone have any questions about Xena, our two-toed sloth? You in the striped shirt, what's your question?
So she wanted the egg.
Why are sloths slow? We get that question all the time. So yes, they are indeed slow. I will tell you, Xena can move faster than this if she really wanted to, aka if she were not happy at us. Thankfully, she's happy with us right now. But sloths, because they eat so many leaves and that's such a big part of their diet, they're not really eating really energy-rich foods. And so because of that, they move slower so that they can conserve a lot of their energy. They have a much slower metabolism. They digest their food a lot slower. And so kind of having a slower lifestyle is gonna help them to be able to manage being able to do all the things that they need to do, because they're not eating a whole bunch of foods that have a lot of high energy nutrition in them. So for other animals that might be eating a lot more nutritious things, like us, most of the time you're gonna go to the bathroom quite often. We'll say about once a day, hopefully. For sloths, does anyone have a guess of how often they go to the bathroom, and aka number 2, how often they poop? You can just shout it out.
Once a decade!
Once a decade? Ooh, that would be a lot of poop in that body. So sloths, they go to, I did hear it, sloths go to the bathroom only about once a week. So quite a lot of time in between their need to poop and how much they're actually going to be consuming, because they're going to be going out and they're going to be eating those leaves every night. All right, other questions about our two-toed sloth? Go ahead, you in the gray hat. Sorry, you're going to need to speak up a little bit, buddy. Yeah, so he had a great observation that back kind of right there, right here, it seems a little bit bald. So Xena here, and what sloths a lot of times what they like to do is when they are going to sleep, they can hang if they wanted to, but a lot of times they like to lean up in kind of like a Y of a tree. You can imagine she's going to be perched up right in here, and she's going to be sitting, and her back is against this post here. So from doing that for about 14 years of her life, or 13 years of her life, she's kind of had a little bit of just hurting in her back there. So yeah, I think Peter had a good description. It's basically her bed head, you can call it. So that's just the way her hair moves, because that's the spot that she likes to sleep on. Other questions? Go ahead in the gray sweatshirt. Yeah. Why doesn't she have any sloth moths? That is a great question. So if any of you do not know about the sloth moth, it is a particular species of moth that will actually live in, Peter, you might have to correct me, but they are born in the feces of the sloth, if I am correct. Yeah, so the sloth moth, they have a very, they have a relationship with the sloth in that this moth relies on the sloth stool, because that's where they lay their eggs. And so for them, the moths oftentimes, once they hatch out of their eggs, they will sometimes eventually go onto the fur of the sloth and eat algae that is oftentimes growing on a sloth. So if you ever have seen pictures of sloths, sometimes they might look a little bit green. Oftentimes that is algae that's growing on them. Again, they're from the rainforest. They live in a really humid environment. Xena, she does not live in the rainforest. She has her correct humidity and temperatures, but it is not exactly the same as living out there in the wild. She is very clean here, and so she doesn't have any algae. We also keep it very clean here. those sloth moths don't live in North America,
Right.
so she doesn't have any
San Diego
sloth
Zoo.
moths. But really odd.